Ta'ala has encouraged us, and our Messenger alayhi salatu wasalam has encouraged us through many different texts to be from the people of the sunnah and the people of al-jama'ah. That is, that we embody the teachings of our Messenger alayhi salatu wasalam, and that we establish the congregation. That is, that we be together. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made this ummah one ummah, wa inna hadihi ummatukum ummatan wahida. This ummah of yours is one ummah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said in the Quran, innamal mu'minuna ikhwa, that the believers are nothing but brothers. And our Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam said, al-muslimu akhul muslim, that the Muslim is the brother to another Muslim. And Allah azza wa jalla tells us in the Quran, وَاعْتَصِمُوا بِحَبْلِ اللَّهِ جَمِيعًا وَلَا تَفَرَّقُوا. Hold fast to the rope of Allah, all of you together, and do not be divided. Do not be divided. Subhanallah, that which is going to bring us together, that which is going to bring the jama'ah, is that we embody the teachings of our Messenger alayhi salatu wasalam. Nothing else is going to bring us the honor of being together. It doesn't matter that we're all American, or that we're all Arabs, or that we're all Pakistani, or that we're all black or white. None of that matters. نحن قوم أعزنا الله بالإسلام. We are a people whom Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given might, has given honor and dignity because of Islam. If we seek honor in anything else, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will humiliate us. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will humiliate us if we seek to be together and we seek dignity and we seek honor in anything other than embodying the teachings of our Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And we have to realize this, ikhwan. Brothers and sisters in Islam, do you realize that there are people who know what it's like if the Muslims actually unite, and they're scared of that? And so they cause rift and they sow dissension in the ranks of the Muslims because they don't want us to unite. They don't want us to be together. There are some people who take pride in being the small group, who claim that because they are the small group, that they are the saved sect. But this is not Islam. This is not Islam. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not want us to be disorganized. He doesn't want us to be disunited and disjointed. Allah azza wa jalla commands us to be together. وَاعْتَصِمُوا بِحَبْلِ اللَّهِ جَمِيعًا. Hold all of you together firm to the rope of Allah. He wants us to be together, and He wants us to cooperate. وَتَعَاوَنُوا عَلَى الْبِرِّ وَالتَّقْوَى, and cooperate upon bir and taqwa. قُولُوا قَوْلِي هَذَا وَاسْتَغْفِرُ اللَّهَ لِي وَلَكُمْ فَاسْتَغْفِرُوهُ إِنَّهُ هُوَ الْغَفُورُ الرَّحِيمُ. Share? It's good. Colors. Alhamdulillah, salatu wassalamu ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi man wala. Brothers and sisters in Islam, you have the rare opportunity and the rare chance to be a part of history. The history of Islam in this country is being written as we speak. And we should recognize our place in that history. This city, Philadelphia, has the largest concentration of converts, of reverts, of indigenous Muslims in the entire United States of America. And what that tends to translate into is that we have a people who are comfortable being both American and Muslim. That is, that they are comfortable with both of those identities. And that's not a common theme amongst the American Muslims. And the fact that this is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has decreed for you is something significant. And it's something that we should not downplay the importance of. you have the opportunity to be a part of the history in the making in this country. But if we don't do our jobs to establish this deen, if we don't do our jobs to establish this deen, we can't sit on the sidelines. We can't be Muslims on the fringe. We can't be stray Muslims like stray cats. Don't have a home. No, you have to have a community. You have to be a part of something. And believe me, if we don't work for this deen, we should be afraid that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to replace us. Because Allah Azza wa Jal does not need us. And Islam does not need us. But it is us who needs Islam. It is we who need Islam. يَمُنُّونَ عَلَيْكَ أَنْ أَسْلَمُوا قُلْ لَا تَمُنُّوا عَلَيَّ إِسْلَامَكُمْ بَلِ اللَّهُ يَمُنُّ عَلَيْكُمْ أَنْ هَدَاكُمْ لِلْإِيمَانِ إِن كُنتُمْ صَادِقِينَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran that they deem it as a favor to you, O Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that they accepted Islam. They deem it as a favor to you. قُلْ لَا تَمُنُّوا عَلَيَّ إِسْلَامَكُمْ. Don't come to me looking at your Islam as a favor to me. بَلِ اللَّهُ يَمُنُّ عَلَيْكُمْ أَنْ هَدَاكُمْ لِلْإِيمَانِ. It is Allah who has favored you by guiding you to faith, if you are truly sincere. And so we need to recognize that, and we need to work for this deen. Brothers in Islam, this directive is not for the sisters. You will hear your turn shortly, inshallah. Brothers in Islam, establish the prayer in Jama'ah. Be good men to your wives. Be good husbands. Recognize your responsibilities as Muslim men. Do not mooch off of your women. That's not their responsibility to take care of you. It's not their responsibility to split the bills with you. This is your responsibility as Muslim men, and you have to step up to the plate. Take care of your children. Take care of their emotional needs. Take care of their mental health. Take care of them financially. Even if you are not with their mother, they are your responsibility. Take care of your children, brothers. Wallahi, that generation that is coming up, they're going to look to the example that we set, and they're going to follow that example, and we have a role to play in that. For the sisters in Islam, don't take the bait. The sisters, our Muslim women, have been under attack for at least the last decade. Because when those who want to wipe out this deen recognize that Islam isn't going anywhere, that no matter what attacks they do in the name of Islam, and no matter what they try to portray the Muslims as being, that Islam just continues to grow, then their next line of attack was to change Islam from the inside. And it has been the practice of colonizers for centuries, and those who conquered, the majorities that conquered the minorities, it has been their practice to target the women, because they know that women are the first nurturers of the next generation. So they're not worried about the older ones. They want to nurture a next generation who totally changes the values of Islam. Who now we have Muslim feminists and liberal Muslims and all of these other, no, we want Islam. We just want Islam. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, enter into Islam, totally. Without all of the other inscriptions that go with it. And so sisters in Islam, don't take the bait. Don't believe. Don't let them establish your values for you. So many of our women are struggling with anxiety, are struggling with depression, because society puts on them values that don't coincide with their fitrah. And so this woman is not valued unless she has a degree in something, and unless she has a career. But on top of that, she's expected to nurture the children, and she's expected to take care of her husband, and she's supposed to take care of the house and cook and clean and everything else. But her real value, as they determine it, is based on what degree she has, what's her profession, what kind of car she drives. We can't take debate on that. And we have to realize that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, أَلَا يَعْلَمُ مَنْ خَلَقَ وَهُوَ اللَّطِيفُ الْخَبِيرُ, does not the one who created know? Does not the one who created, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, does not He know what is best for us? And that we stick to the guidelines that Islam has provided. For those of you who are young, you are living during a time where many of us could never have imagined the struggles and the problems that you face. But you don't have to go at it alone. You young people, the young brothers that I see here, the 20 and under crowd, you have to come to the masjid too. You have to be a part of the community. We want you to be a part of the community. We want to help walk you through some of the problems that you're facing. We don't want you to face those problems alone. But if you don't come around, if your thing is sports and then this activity and that activity, and you're never part of the Muslim community, how can we help you walk through those struggles that you're facing? We recognize that you're dealing with something, and we accept you as you are. We recognize none of us are without faults, but you still have to come. You still have to be a part of something. And then we can work through these problems together. And this doesn't just go for the young brothers. This is for the young sisters as well, who are struggling with many different struggles that we can't imagine, but we have to give them that opportunity to deal with. For the leaders of the Muslim community, fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as it relates to those who are under your charge. This is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's deen. It's not your deen. Get your egos out of the way. You are stopping progress. Your ego is a hindrance. You want credit, and because of the credit that you want, you're stopping progress. This deen requires that we service Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala selflessly, that we don't look for thanks, that we don't look for thanks from the people, that we don't look for any reward from them. We don't even look for the reward of having our ego stroked. Leaders of the Muslims fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as it relates to this community. Wallahi, if we get our egos out of the way, we'll be able to work together and we'll be able to create a better present and a better tomorrow for our Muslims and create real infrastructure, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, that will service generations to come. And bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, we'll be the ones that get rewarded for planting those seeds. Last but not least, to the professionals of our community. Alhamdulillah, Islam is growing. Islam is growing all over the city, all over the country, alhamdulillah. And specifically, you've come to the Eid that has been hosted by UMM. And UMM is growing. And we're trying to implement an educational renaissance. And we're trying to implement social services for the Muslims. We're trying to grow the community as a whole. But we need your help. We need your expertise. We need your skill set. This is a call for what we are terming the Charitable Persons Initiative.